Hello again YouTube, this is Derek or Leica 101. Welcome back to my channel, and today's video is going to be a third Pathfinder review for my channel, focusing on Book of the Damned, Volume 2, Pathfinder campaign setting, The Lords of Chaos by James Jacobs. So first and foremost, if you haven't seen my review on Book of the Damned Volume 1, I would encourage you to go look at that, as these books are so far a three-part series, with Book 3 coming out in October from Paizo, and that will focus on the Horsemen of the Apocalypse. But this video, as I said, is going to focus on the Lords of Chaos Book 2. So let's get right into it, and I'm going to show you a couple of pages from the book real quick before we get into everything. It is 64 pages of content, though if you count the inside cover and the back cover, which has some important information, it's roughly about 66 pages, where the first book was 68 pages. So here we have a bunch of demonic glyphs and symbols or sigils, however you want to say it, or whatever word you want to use. And the back cover is a nice table with all of the demons of the abyss listed. We have their names very far inside there. Try to get that in there. Their alignments, their areas of concern, the domains, and favored weapons. This list here has over 30 demon lords, and with another at least 20 other gods and demonic entities. So let's get right into this great book, I have to say. So first things first, what areas are we going to be talking about today? We have Pre-Mortality, the Lords of the Abyss, That Which is Dead, Demonkind, the Realms, Demonology, the Quillipoth, the demonic horde at your door. So, first things first is the Pre-Mortality, and it's this nice handwritten section. It's got some great art in here if I can get it to show up. Ooh, where is it? Oh, it's the other side. Excuse me. Get my finger out of the way. There you go. Some great artwork, all hand drawn. And it comes from the Book of the Damned, which is a book within the Galarian setting that focuses on the demonic writings, and it was an attempt to really lay out all of the dark reaches of the other realms. So you've got some really great stuff in here. And then we've got a really great picture right here in the Lords of the Abyss. Try to get that right up there for you guys. There we go. This section is very lengthy. So this chapter goes on and on about all of the different kinds of demon lords that are among the most popular and powerful on the plane of the abyss. So this obviously is going to focus, this book focuses solely on the abyss, where book 1 focused on hell. So let's get right into it. I'm going to just read this off a little bit. We have Lamashtu from Galarian. She's the demon queen, and she is a goddess. She's the only demon to ascend to godhood. And before I forget, Bolt Orange, or Bolt Orange, I believe is how he has his channel pronunciation going right now. He's got a great channel and just started posting videos. He's got 4, I believe, out right now. He just started subscribing to my channel, so thank you for that. And he asked for a little bit of crunch for what these books involve. So I'm going to try to cover that a little bit with right now. If you notice, over here we have this nice, if I can get rid of this glare, here we go. This section right here. Right there. This says boons, and this says obedience. So before we get into all these demon lords, let me explain what this little bit of crunch is for him and for the rest of you. And this is what is a really, I believe, where book 1 kind of failed a little bit, where this book succeeds. Obediences are what a player that decides they want to worship a demon lord has to do in order to get the benefits of worship. So how a paladin has all these righteous abilities coming from their deity because they worship that deity. Well, instead of just saying, oh, I'm going to pray to my demon lord, that's not what a demon lord would want to begin with. They don't want prayer. They want you to do something evil and malicious. So Book of the Damned introduces obediences. There's a feat that you have to take in order to actually gain the boons, which are listed below for the obediences. So I'm going to go ahead and read you the obedience for Lamashtu, the demon queen. And obediences, before I forget, obediences have to be done by the player every day, and if they fail to do so, then they lose the benefits of the boons. And boons are granted in three types. There's the first boon, which is weakest, a medium boon, which is number 2, and then the most powerful boon is number 3. And it goes up in a rank system like that for the number of services and obediences that the player has to give to the demon. So first things first is an obedience for vol.2. Engage in a tryst with the sincere intention of being impregnated or impregnating your partner, or sacrifice a creature that has been alive for no more than a week. You gain a +4 profane bonus on saves against insanity, confusion, and polymorph effects. Excuse me. So obviously, right now, just reading that, you can see this book is pretty dark, and I'll read a couple more of the other ones as we go on. And yes, this book is very mature with these obediences, and it's not for the faint of heart, and obviously is going to be dealing with evil characters. The boons that are granted to you from this are the Lunatic's Gift. You're granted Lesser Confusion 3 times per day, Touch of Idiocy 2 times per day, or Summon Monster 3 1 time per day. And then it goes into 2 other benefits, but we're not going to cover those right now. We're just going to keep going. I'm going to read you off a couple more of these Demon Lords before I get too far into this video. We're already at 6 minutes. So we have the Demon Lords. We have Abraxas, the Master of the Final Incantation, Albanoth, She of the Six Venoms, Androfaku, the Razor Princess, Angshan, the Ravenous King. He's an Ape Lord. I'll show you this because it's pretty crazy. Giant demonic gorilla king demon thing. It's pretty crazy. Ereshkigal, Bahamut. No, not the good aligned dragon god from 3.5. Bahamut, Lord of Minotaurs. Sith Vasug, Prince of the Blasted Heath, and I have to show this video or this picture because it's my absolute favorite one in the book. Giant fungal demon lord with a little like acolyte guy right there. Just gonna read a few more. Dagon, Daskari, Flauros, Jagunta, Aganti, Jazalda, Jubilix, Kabari, Kostache, Mazmez, Mastama, and Noctkala. There you go, another great picture. Succubus Queen. So, I'm just going to take a break from reading all these demons because, like I said, there's 30-something demons. I'm not going to have time to cover all of them. I just want to give you a brief description about how it's broken down into each demon. Each demon's obedience is listed, boons granted, how the cults work with their unholy symbols, temples, worshippers, and minions. The paragraphs detailing each demon go into the realm on the abyss, any kind of alliances or hatreds they have towards other demons or gods, how cults usually worship them, and those basically cover everything for all those kinds of demons. So there are really great sections. Each one is well worth reading. You get a really good feel for the abyss and what it has to offer those that take the challenge, I guess you could say, or crazy idea to worship from the abyss. So I'm going to read you a couple more obediences as I move on. This one's from Noctkala. Obedience. Ingest a dose of psychedelic plants or fungi and engage in any number of sexual acts, either alone or with others. Yes, that does say that in parentheses, I'm not lying. During which at least a pint of blood must be shed. Gain a +4 profane bonus on saves against blindness and charm effects. Yeah. Mature audiences, like I said. Boons. The Lady's Charms. Charm Person 3 times per day, Darkness 2 times per day, or Suggestion 1 time per day. Number 2 is Instant Blindness. 3 times per day you can cast Quicken Blindness or Deafness. 3 is Dominate Thrall. Once per day you may cast Dominate Monster. You may only have one creature dominated at a time via this effect, but the effects are permanent until you dominate a new target, at which point the previous target is released from domination, but is stunned for 1d4 rounds. A couple more Demon Lords. We've got Nurgle, Orcus, Pazuzu, Shax, Shavaska, Sivkesh, and here's really where, like I keep saying, this is for mature audiences. This is not for a light-hearted children's campaign or with the younger audiences. Sivkesh is the Sacred Whore, the female demon lord of hopeless despair, heresy, and suicide. her obedience, you must perform a ritualized suicide by first scribing a note, lambasting your enemies, and then pretending to kill yourself via strangulation or cutting. Gain a +4 profane bonus on saving throws or mind-affecting effects. And here's a picture. You can see she's cut up into pieces and everything. So this, like I said, is where Book 2 exceeds where Book 1 failed. You've got these obediences, you've got how dark your character has to be in order to worship these characters, or these entities. This is not for the lighthearted, the faint-hearted, the good-aligned characters. This is for how dark do I really want my characters to be? How deeply involved in the abyss do I want them to go? So we're going to skip a few of the other demons in here. I know, I'm sorry, I can't just tell you all of them. I gotta leave something for Paizo to have you buy this, right? We have another section, That Which Is Dead, tells you about some of the dead demon lords because they were just so destructive and psychotic that the other demon lords had to rise up and take them out. For example, we have Zar Osmok, Lord of Rust, who's basically like a giant rust golem, and he would go across all of the planes destroying everything. So all of the demon lords rose up together and took him out, so that way he couldn't destroy everything, which is pretty crazy. And then we have Demonkind, a nice picture of a Baylor, I believe. This section details everything that you need to know about each demon's role in demonkind in society, in the abyss. And I do mean every demon, ranging from Bestiary 1 and 2. So we have Dretch, Quasit, Vermlek, Brimarak, Babao, Shadow Demon, Succubus, Nabasu, Vrock, Kalavakis, Hezrel, Omat, Glabzaru, Falnashi, Seraptis, and it just goes on and on. And what's nice about this section is it tells you a little bit about the demon, what source it's from, its associated sin, and its preferred sacrifice. So if you don't want to go and have your character worship Lamashtu or one of the other 33-something demons in here, you can just have them worship a basic kind of demon. They don't have to be one of these named entities. You can just worship demons for all this cares. And then this, I have to say, is one of my favorite sections, the Nascent Demon Lords, and creating your own Nascent Demon Lords. What a Nascent Demon Lord is in the ranks of demons you have basic demons. So when a soul is sacrificed to the abyss, it becomes a little larva. So then the larva grows up and feeds and becomes a basic demon like a Vrock or something. And then from there gains more power and more power in the abyss until it becomes an Ascent Demon Lord. And then from there it becomes a full Demon Lord that's one of the named ones, and then from that may ascend into godhood eventually. Like I said, so far there's only Lamashtu at that very top of godhood. Then there's all those Demon Lords, those 33-something that we were just talking about. And then these Nascent Demon Lords, basically generals or captains. So what you can do is you can take any demon that you want and basically create your own kind of Demon Lord. They provide a few examples, I believe. Yep, here we go. And I have to say, some of these are pretty crazy. Like, I'll read you my favorite one, the Night Ripper. In life, the Night Ripper was a prolific serial killer who preyed upon the people of no less than a dozen cities. When he was finally caught, he claimed to have murdered 953 men, women, and children with his knives, leaving them broken and bleeding to death at the bottom of pits scattered throughout the Inner Sea region. He miraculously survived a dozen executions, growing more and more broken and insane with each survival, until he finally perished and went to the abyss. The Night Ripper retained his personality and memories of life throughout his afterlife, and retains them still as his role as Lamashtu's favored tutor and torturer and assassin. He appears as a hideously burnt and mutilated human, wrapped in blood-soaked strips of black cloth and wielding a razor-sharp bastard sword. Then it tells you who their commander is, their realm, their unholy symbol, their obedience, and the small boon that they can offer. So, it's pretty crazy. And it tells you, like I said, how to create these Nascent Demon Lords. Then it has a very nice section on the known stable realms of the Abyss. 2 pages, full 2 pages, and some, like you can see, some really nice artwork. And this is really handy. I've already was looking back through and just like, instead of having to look through all the demon lords and go, well, what realm was so and so on, and what does that realm look like? These 2 pages are amazing. Just, I can go to anything. Sea of Whispering Sands, a vast desert riddled with ruined cities and ruled by Aldenot. There we go. That's what I needed. Go, look at that. Right and listed alphabetically. Favorite picture in the whole book right here. Chapter 3, Demonology. I know we're at 15-minute marks. Bear with me. Chapter 3, Demonology. Great picture. So, this is a chapter that has you really focused on worshipping demon lords. There's nice sections, and it goes into clerics, anti-paladins, druids, inquisitors, oracles, rangers, and non-divine classes worshipping. Becoming a demon section with demonic implants and a demonic transformation ritual. So you can get, there's a section where a character has to chop off their hand or ear or tongue, and then it is infused with a demonic tongue, ear, or hand. So you've got talons that can wield that have long claws but can still wield weapons, and it's incredible. A nice 4-part ritual for becoming a demon, and the new prestige class is called the Demoniac. Basically someone who is so crazy about demons that they just want to sacrifice as much humanity as possible and worship demons like crazy and get those demonic transformations. And it has a very nice story about it, very unique requirements, but what's good about this prestige class is those boons that I was talking about, the 2nd and 3rd tier boons that are harder to get, you get earlier now because you are this prestige class. So you get access to them earlier. You also have what else do you get? You get you get to summon demons, you get your demonic boons. There's also, I believe, a part, yes, here it is. Yep, okay, like I was going to say, sorry, I had to read that just to make sure. There's a section, it's a skill that he gets should he die. His soul goes directly to the abyss and is immediately transformed into a demon. So that is what happens for the 10th level demoniac who dies and is in turn resurrected with all of his memories on the abyss as a demon. It's quite lovely. We go into some 4 demonic spells, some abyssal items, the nice Before Sin and the Quillipoth section. The Quillipoth are a race of entities that came before demons. There's a nice section, all these written sections right here like this are detailing the history of the abyss, how demons came to be created, who created them and why, and who was there before the demons, who was there after them. And finally, I'm going to try to wrap this up nice and quick, is the demonic horde, which is the other abyssal inhabitants, and a couple of new demons, the Vermlick, a CR3 demon who is basically like a giant worm, infests people's bodies. If they're dead, comes back, reanimates those bodies with it inside like a giant puppet from Inside Out, and can attack. We've got Brimarak, a 3-foot-tall CR5 evil goat-looking thing with a flaming sword who can spew fire and ash from its mouth. We have the Seraptis, a CR15 4-armed bloodless demon with mouths on her 4 arms. And then we have the Lavakia, a CR18 demon who is just the general of war kind of demon who's just going to kill and strike at everything. And then a nice small section called At Your Door. Get everything on there. Some nice pictures. It's called At Your Door. It's a nice section that details areas in Galarian where the abyss is kind of surfacing onto the material plane. And that will conclude the Pathfinder campaign setting, Book of the Damned of Volume 2, Lords of Chaos. And as you can see, this is Noctuella on the front. What is my score so we can get out of here? My score for this book, 4.5 stars. Not going to give it a full 5 yet, holding out for Lords of the Abyss, or excuse me, what is it? Horsemen of the Apocalypse. Had a brain lapse right there. But Horsemen of the Apocalypse is coming out in October. We'll see if that can beat out these other 2 books. but if not, we will have to wait and see. I strongly recommend this product. Just absolutely great. Bolt Orange, I hope I gave you enough crunch, as you said. If not, I will try to do my best. These books aren't very heavy on crunch, I'm afraid, but I tried to give you that little bit. I hope it was enough. To everybody else, I hope you enjoyed this review. 4.5 stars. Go out and get yourself Book of the Damned Volume 2, The Lords of Chaos by James Jacobs. This has been Lycan 101. Thanks for watching.